Hello everybody and welcome to the Football Philosophy channel, and this is the Player in Focus show after I did the player ratings from the Derby game. As I said I would, I put up all of the back four players. Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof and Shaw were all up on the voting on the poll on Twitter, and not as many votes as normal. I don't know if people are not as excited or interested in what the defenders are doing. I think a lot of people like the attacking style of the game. But just about 1,350 votes, roughly half as many as we normally get. But the highest ever percentage for one player, which might indicate as well, because Luke Shaw scored, he got 58% of the votes. I don't think we've ever had it as high as that, 58%. And that also might indicate that obviously Luke Shaw... he was a contender for man of the match. I think they gave it Anthony Martial in the end, but he also got one of the goals. But that was it. So 1,300 odd votes, and 58% of the votes went to Luke Shaw. So Luke Shaw is the player in focus. As I always say, I watch the game live, I watch it again, and then when I get the player in focus result, if we do a player in focus, I watch it again to study that player. And it's amazing the things that you see, even though you've watched the game twice already. And as I explain, and I often explain that I've got outstanding is number 9. He's 9 out of 10. He's outstanding, and I give all the back four 8 out of 10. I gave a McTominay 8. I gave Anthony Martial 8, and I gave Luke Shaw a 9. And having watched it again, he didn't really play any better than the rest of the back four. They were all really solid. Luke Shaw had a really good game, but there was still a few slack passes in there. Half. Nobody gets everything right. I'm only good. I don't have to show too many things. I'm going to show a couple of... He does get away with them, by the way. I'm going to show him getting beaten twice by Mahrez. Mahrez is a great player. It's no shame on you to be beaten by Mahrez. He really is a top-class winger. So I'm going to show a couple of those, but he does get away with it and recover well on both occasions. But I could also show, which I'm not going to, with too many clips, and there's no point. I'm actually showing the good things as to why I give him a 9. Maybe he still deserves his 9 for his goal, but really, apart from the goal, he played just as well, but not really any better than all the other players that I've given an 8 to. So maybe he could have just had an 8. But here we go. Clip number 1. You'll see that he forces Mahrez. Mahrez receives the ball on the wing. He forces him back. This will be clip. It'll be on Rick the Red UK on Twitter. And I'm going to do one thread this time, by the way. There's 9 clips. I'm going to put all 9 clips. I'm going to put all 9 clips on one thread. And the first thread is the first clip is to show him. He makes an interception as they try to feed the ball outside him. He's about 5 yards, maybe 10 yards outside his own box, and he takes a touch in field. He's got Kevin De Bruyne right on him, obviously a top class player, and he goes in field to look for a pass, but he takes 2 touches to beat De Bruyne and just leave him just slightly behind, but he knows he's got him slightly behind, which is all he needs. But there isn't a pass on, and then reverses a pass, quite a crisp pass, but straight to Dean Henderson's feet, obviously right back near his own goal line. But it's a quality piece of left back play. Obviously showing the clips of defenders, it might not be as exciting. Maybe that's why people like it when I do the forwards, and maybe that's why there's more votes. But have a look at that. That's the first clip. It is a quality piece of defensive play in the left back area. The second clip, City have played a fairly long ball. This is to show. It shows him being absolutely supremely in charge of a situation, and understanding his role, and knowing, anticipating what's going to happen and knowing where he needs to be. So City play a long ball up to Jesus. Jesus is sort of in a centre forward, or really an inside left position to the left of our box. There's enough players back to deal with it, and Shaw is tracking back because he's been forward, and he's tracking back with Mahrez behind him, slightly to his right and slightly behind him. So as Mahrez goes forward, Luke Shaw knows all he's got to do is make sure that he stays between Mahrez and the goal. And if you look at this clip and you study Luke Shaw on this run, you will see that he looks over his shoulder 4 times. 4 times he looks at Mahrez just to check that he's got a couple of yards on him on each and every occasion, and it just shows that he's supremely in control of the situation. When he gets back into the box, it does come loose, just as he expects it might do. All he knows is he's got to be in charge of Mahrez, and he remains in that position. And when it comes to him, he's a couple of yards on Mahrez. He takes the fourth glance that he takes at him is just before he gets the ball. The ball's loose in the box. He takes a touch and he rolls it to Harry Maguire, and Harry Maguire clears it. And it's again a quality piece of left back play. This is to show his coolness in the box, in a real crowded box. Sterling comes in from City's left wing, and it's the one where they appeal for a penalty, where it's not a strong appeal, but there is a bit of a shout for the penalty where Fred gets in front of Sterling, but it's a crowded penalty area, and when Fred gets in front of Sterling, the ball then comes loose and it comes to Shaw. Doesn't look like a lot, it really doesn't, but a lot of players would just whack it clear. They really would. It's a crowded box, but even in that crowded box, he's got a really cool head. He takes a touch and he just plays a lovely, and I love short passes, as you all know. He plays a lovely 7 or 8 yard pass to Fred, who's just outside the penalty area, and United are away. Clip number 4 is one where Mahrez gives him the slip. He gives him the slip on the halfway line, and Shaw has to race back, but Mahrez has gone infield and played the ball infield, so City build an attack. So Shaw's just got to get back in position. He gets back into position. When he gets back into position, it eventually comes to Mahrez again, or the ball is played to Mahrez for Mahrez to try and get to the dead ball line and get it across. And I know you often see defenders get the body between the man and the ball, and they shepherd the ball out, as they call it, or shield it. But they shepherd it out, they let the ball go out and they don't touch the ball and they get a goal kick. You see it numerous times in almost every game you watch. But the slight difference here is, first of all, he's playing against Mahrez, and secondly, that's not a bad ball to Mahrez. He isn't favourite really to get it, but Shaw's really sharp. Mahrez is running onto it, and Shaw's coming across at an angle, and he just gets across Mahrez really easily, and just basically, more or less bullies him really, just keeps him away from the ball and wins the goal kick. And again, it's brilliant left back play. Clip number 5, another one where Mahrez beats him. Again, just showing coolness and calmness in his own penalty area. Mahrez beats him, he looks to go left, he's inside the box, then he checks it back to his right, and Shaw slips. Because obviously Mahrez has dummied to cross it, and Shaw goes to his right to block that cross, and then Mahrez shifts it back onto his right foot, and Shaw collapses on the floor. But he has to bounce up quickly. That's what they have to do. They do that time and time again in training. He has to bounce up quickly. He gets up quickly. Mahrez crosses it. It hits Maguire. Luckily for Shaw, it bounces straight back to him. But again, lovely, cool, calm head. Rashford's free just outside the box, and he passes it first time to Rashford. And again, United are away. Clip number 6 shows it, the body strength that Luke Shaw's got in two different little incidents in one clip. City have got a corner, and the corner goes beyond our far post, and it's heading towards the corner flag, the opposite corner flag. And obviously Wan-Bissaka must have been one of the players who was marking near the back post, so he's out of position now, but the ball runs towards that corner flag, which is our left corner flag. And Wan-Bissaka chases John Stones out towards the corner flag. And as he chases John Stones out towards the corner flag, Shaw realises that Stones can only reverse the ball back to Mahrez. Mahrez has also run out, but Mahrez is near the touchline, probably 20 yards away from the corner flag. And Shaw sprints out to him. He knows that Mahrez is Stones' only option. So he runs out to him. When he gets to Mahrez, he manages to shrug him off the ball. And then it goes to... He manages to shrug Mahrez off the ball, and I can't tell if he knocks it back to Wan-Bissaka or he lets it run to Bissaka. Mahrez has maybe taken a loose touch. It might be going towards Wan-Bissaka, but he just gets across him. He just uses his body strength. I think he then touches it back to Wan-Bissaka, for Wan-Bissaka to clear it. When Wan-Bissaka clears it, it goes to Rashford. And then Rashford gives a short pass back to Shaw. But it's under it, and Shaw has to go in for another challenge. Rashford's giving him a bit of an hospital ball, really. He goes in for another challenge. When he goes in for another challenge, he can't come out with the ball. He plays it against somebody, and then it ends up with Gundogan. And then when it goes to Gundogan, Shaw's there again, and he gets in on Gundogan, and again Gundogan looks like he's going to get the ball under control, but Shaw's on him again and nudges him and just gets him off the ball, basically. The ball remains loose, and then Wan-Bissaka appears again and helps him to clear it up. So the main it's the work rate, the effort, but it's to show his body strength here. Twice, sharp mind, gets out to Mahrez, but then twice uses his body strength. Once to knock Mahrez off the ball, it goes to Wan-Bissaka, and then after 2 or 3 more passes, it ends up with Gundogan, and again Shaw's there, and he knocks Gundogan off the ball as well, which allows Wan-Bissaka to tidy up the situation. Clip number 7 is the goal. Fantastic goal, absolutely fantastic goal. Obviously, Henderson throws it out to him, and he can see Cancelo coming towards him, Cancelo, or however you say it. And it's just absolute class what Luke Shaw does. Runs into the ball and bounces it off his body. He beats Cancelo by knocking the ball past him with his body. And it really is a classy piece of play. And then he races clear. He leaves Kevin De Bruyne for dead. He ends up just on the edge of their box. It's quite a long run, really. He's great at carrying the ball. There's another clip coming up of him carrying the ball. And when he gets to the edge of the box, he slips it to Rashford. It's a lovely pass to Rashford. Rashford does the right thing, gives it him back. And when he gives it him back, I mean, in a way, you could say Luke Shaw almost deserves the goal and the assist, because it's his long run and his pass to Rashford that sets up the situation. Rashford does the right thing, though. If he tries to give it back in front of Shaw, there's too many bodies around. I don't think Shaw would get it. But because he's got to give it straight to Shaw, which he has, and he does the right thing, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking him, he does the right thing, but because he's got to give it straight to Shaw, Shaw's then got to get it out of his feet. So when he's got to get it out of his feet, obviously he knocks it a little. It's no accident that it goes a little bit to his left. There's 2 reasons. First of all, it keeps it on his left, which is his favoured side, but not just that, it opens up the angle to fire it across that goal. It isn't an accident. He sets it. When he takes that touch with the knowledge that my next touch is going to be a shot towards that far post. So he does all the run himself, he does the pass to Rashford himself, he beats Cancelo himself, he leaves De Bruyne for dead, gets it back off Rashford, beautiful touch to set himself up for a shot, and drills it into the far corner, and it really is a fantastic goal. That's clip number 7. Clip number 8 is another long run. He intercepts more than halfway inside his own half, and he runs virtually to the edge of their box. Really good close control he's got. He's as good as, well, he's better than most wingers. He really keeps it close to his feet when he's running with it. Brilliant carrier of the ball. So he carries it until he's, 10 or 15 yards outside their box, slips it to Bruno to his right. Bruno tries a cross into the box. It's the one where Martial loses footing at the back post, and Gary Neville said he should have scored it. I think if he would have scored it, it would have been a brilliant goal, to be honest. But it takes a clip off a defender and it loops up, so there's no pace on the ball. In fact, anybody who remembers the commentary, even the commentator said, he didn't say but, Gary, but he did cut in and sort of say, there's no pace on the ball. I'm pretty sure sometimes these commentators, they want that, because don't forget, Gary's supposed to be the expert, I suppose. I'm pretty sure sometimes these commentators want to say, are you sure about that? But they don't really want to say too much against what their partner says, because don't forget, they're partners in that job, aren't they? But the commentator does point out that there's no pace on the ball, and the commentator's correct, and it's a really, really difficult chance. And Gary Neville says he should have scored it, and I know I've changed it to Anthony Martial here, but it's part of this run. This is what happens. If he would have scored it, it would have been a brilliant goal. It would have been an absolutely brilliant goal. There's no pace on the ball. He really would have to get some purchase on it, and get it right back across the keeper. It was a really, really difficult chance. But Luke Shaw's passed it to Bruno and then carried on, and he's ended up in the D, if you have a look at it. So obviously he doesn't know it's going to be such a loopy cross when it hits the defender, and he doesn't know what's going to happen. He's just getting into those positions just in case. So he's won the ball back in his own half, he's carried it at least half the length of the field, the middle half if you like, or even 3/4 of the length of the field almost, before giving it to Bruno and getting himself into the D. And on another day it might have come out to him and he might have had another chance, another goal even. So that was a great bit of play. And the last clip, the clip number 9, is a defensive clip. And if you look at where Luke Shaw's position is as the clip starts, literally as the clip starts, he's right on the touchline, and he's I would say more than halfway into City's half, and City are breaking away. United have been on the attack. City are breaking away, and he shows his pace and his fitness. It's quite late in the game. He races all the way back to his own box, and he's going up. He's not quite going at full tilt, but he's going at more than 3/4 pace. They have to time these runs. You can't. A footballer can't sprint everywhere he goes. You can only sprint for. If anybody who's interested in athletics. Like the world record for the 100 metres is slightly under 10 seconds, and the world record for the 200 metres is slightly under 20 seconds. So once you go to 400 metres, it goes to about 43 seconds. It's a massive difference. So it's the same for a football. I know they don't run them distances in one go, but a sprinter can only sprint for about 200 metres, and I know that's much more than you ever sprint in a football. I'm not saying that. What I'm pointing out is that you cannot be sprinting here, sprinting there, because you'll just absolutely collapse. You have to time your runs, you have to save energy at times, and you only sprint at full tilt when it's absolutely necessary, because if you sprint at full tilt for too often, for too long, you won't last very long in the game. But you can go at 3/4 pace. Some people can go at 3/4 pace for hours, well, maybe not hours, but a long time. So he's going at 3/4 pace, maybe a bit more, and then when he gets near the edge of the box, it just looks like they're going to get in, and he puts an extra spurt on. Have a look at the clip. You can clearly see it. It looks like he's going. To the naked eye, you might think he's sprinting, but he isn't sprinting. He's going pretty quick all the way back. But just as it looks like they're going to get in behind, just as he's getting towards the edge of his own box, he puts an extra spurt on, and then he is sprinting. He's literally sprinting for about 20 yards, that's all. Sprint, actual full tilt for about 20 yards, and he blocks the cross. They appeal for an handball. It looks like he might hit his hand as he slides out, but they didn't even show it again on the TV, so I don't know why they didn't. But it's a brilliant piece of defensive play that, running at more or less full tilt, and then putting that burst on at the end and just stopping that cross, or stopping them getting the ball on the dead ball line in our box. I hope you followed all that. Like I say, the 9 clips are going to go up. They'll be on Rick the Red UK on Twitter. This show is being recorded. What is it? It's Tuesday afternoon / Tuesday evening. I will put the clips up tonight. So by midnight tonight, the clips will be on Twitter. So there's 9 clips there of Luke Shaw's play, some attacking play and some defensive play in the Manchester derby. Luke Shaw. I've been banging on about Luke Shaw for a long time, and anyone who's followed me on the United stand, obviously I've only been doing my own channel for a few months, but I've been doing on the United stand for a year or so now, and I've always said what a class player Luke Shaw is, and I think he's getting more recognition, but I really don't believe that he's much. Well, it's a funny thing. I mean, why was I saying that he was such a class player? I could just see what a good player he was. So how could I see that? I believe he was playing well then, even when people were on his back, and I just don't get it. And then somehow or another, people start to get recognition, and I could name other players like that. But he's starting to get the recognition that he deserves, Luke Shaw, and I'll be surprised if he's not in the England squad, if not even the actual starting left back by the time the Euros start. So I'll be looking forward to those Euros. I don't mind the international football. It keeps me going from one season to the next, or even in the international breaks, it keeps me going. In fact, there's an international break coming up very soon. We've got AC Milan on Thursday, then West Ham on the Sunday, then AC Milan on the Thursday, and then Leicester in the Cup the next Sunday, and then there's an international break. So let's see if Luke Shaw's playing for England in that break. I'll be staggered if he doesn't get at least in the squad. I'll be absolutely staggered. So I hope you've enjoyed that show. If you've enjoyed that show, please subscribe. Please tell all your friends. If you didn't enjoy it, don't tell anybody. Keep stum.